Welcome, good afternoon, and welcome to Voices of Faith Transforming the Community. The mission of Saginaw African American pastors is to be a beacon of light that imparts wisdom and knowledge to the greater Saginaw region, again, on all levels, basically with faith, strength, and boldness, in order to ensure that Saginaw is a better place, a healthier place where all families can live and enjoy the quality of life. And we do that in a number of ways. We engage with great leaders in our community. We advocate and we collaborate. My name is Dr. Craig Tatum. I serve as pastor for New Life Baptist Ministries and happen to serve as president for Saginaw African American Pastors. I'm going to be your host on today. And today, my special guest, I say this every week, but I really mean this, so I hope you never get tired of it. My special guest today is an impact agent in the city of Saginaw. Where would Saginaw be without her and her organization? They do so much work that you can never imagine, but they are so critical to the life of this community. So I want to take a moment now to welcome Miss Kristen Wenzel. She serves as the Chief Executive Officer of Michigan Works of, probably saying the title wrong, but I'm saying Michigan Works of Saginaw. So let me welcome Miss Wenzel. We're glad to have you here with us on today. And I want to just open up the conversation and say Michigan Works does so much on so many different levels that most people in Saginaw aren't even aware. There's a perception out there what you do, and the conversation today really is to enlighten, to share with people what it does. So can you start by telling us a little bit about not only who you are, but start by sharing with us how long Mission Works has been in existence and even here in our city. So again, welcome.
Well, thank you, Dr. Tatum. It's my pleasure to be here to participate in this conversation today. Michigan Works has been in existence. It was formed under the Governor Engler's administration. Gotcha. And in Michigan, there are 16 different Michigan Works agencies.
Wow, okay.
Each one is locally operated to serve the needs of the region it serves.
Okay.
Our region consists of 5 counties.
Wow.
Bay, Gratiot, Isabella, Midland, and of course, Saginaw.
Wow, excellent.
So we have a unique challenge in that we have a mix of urban and rural. Mm-hmm. And so we have to adjust our service strategies accordingly. But we have the flexibility to do that. That's the beauty of how things are structured in the Michigan workforce system. We have 2 primary customers with Michigan Works. We have the employer who is making hiring decisions.
Gotcha.
And the job seeker who are looking to make those connections with employers.
Excellent.
We're a conduit.
Okay.
To that.
So, when you start talking about that, unpack that a little bit more. What Michigan Works does look like on a daily basis?
On any given day, in any one of our centers,
mm-hmm.
and we have 5. We have 1 in each county.
Okay.
We could have. We have computers available to the general public.
I saw that. Yes.
People can come in and use
mm-hmm.
for job search related purposes.
Excellent.
In Saginaw, we happen to have over 30 of those available.
Now, wait a minute now. I want to put it back in reverse. I want you to say that again because I want people to make sure they hear you, that you have multiple computers.
Yes.
That people can come in and job search for, which there again helps the Saginaw city or county understand there's no reason why you shouldn't know of jobs available in our community.
Correct.
Okay, go ahead, keep
Correct.
going.
Down the hall, we could have workshops happening related to someone's job search, and we have those available on a variety of topics.
Excellent.
We could have an adult ed class happening.
Okay.
Part of one of the things employers look for is an educated workforce.
Gotcha.
And we partner with our local adult education partners to offer those services in our center.
Mm-hmm.
In our computer labs, which are separate from the computer banks that we have available for people to use, we could be offering digital literacy instruction.
Wow.
Or we could have one of our career coaches meeting one-on-one with a job seeker to coach them along their personal journey.
I just need to stop and just say this is awesome. And there again, most of Saginaw may not even know that you're doing all this at your site. So I know people have passed it. I know they know what it is, but can you tell people the exact address? Because we want to make sure people get that as we go forward.
In Saginaw, we're located at 312 East Genesee.
Okay.
Right in downtown Saginaw.
Yes. But what's amazing, when I came in, it was amazing. I saw people at the computers. I saw people, again, coming in for appointments, et cetera, et cetera. It was my first time being there, and I was in awe just seeing that happen. And everything that you just said has opened my eyes tenfold at what you do. You're not just a place you come in and look on the wall. I'm not even sure that even exists anymore. We can come in and look on the wall and try to find a job because everything you do now is digital, correct?
Well, yes and no. We do still print off job postings for people who are more comfortable looking at a piece of paper.
Gotcha.
But the computer is also a vehicle to connecting to that information as well. And while all this is happening in our centers, we have staff in local schools looking to support individuals, youth that are still in school.
Gotcha. To
help them learn job skills and connect them to work experience opportunities in the community. And we also have a team of individuals that work directly with employers. They're on the road every day, connecting to the employers that are actively recruiting to help support their hiring needs. I want to make one thing clear. We don't get anybody a job.
Correct.
We teach people how to be good job seekers.
Excellent.
And a lot of the information that we gather from our interactions with employers helps us be very effective at that because we understand what employers are looking for.
Excellent. And just so Saginaw, Bay City, and Midland, again, which is part of our listening audience, understand, you have one of these in your city. So you can tap into it, and everything that Ms. Winslow is saying right now is critical. If you're looking for jobs, look no further. There again, job skill, job readiness, all of the above, you can get in this one location, and I think that's critical. Now, on the flip side of that, and when I think about the city of Saginaw's unemployment rate right now is roughly about 3%, give or take, a little bit here or there. Looking back over the last several years, it was a little bit under, like 2.4, 2.5% is somewhere in that area. So can you share for us, the listening audience, some of the challenges of jobs right now in our community?
Well, there's a little bit of everything going on.
Okay.
And if I may give you a little bit longer answer.
Go ahead.
Anything under 4% is considered full employment from a labor market standpoint.
Gotcha. Okay.
So if we can kind of compare it to the real estate market, for example, sometimes it's a buyer's market, sometimes it's a seller's market.
Gotcha.
The same could be said for job seekers and employers.
Okay.
The last 5 years, we've had a big disruption with COVID and its lingering impact on the labor market and the labor force, because there's an increased number of people that are still looking for remote work opportunities, which really wasn't as prevalent prior to 2020 as it is today.
Right.
So that has altered the dynamic a little bit.
Wow. Okay.
So having said that, yes, the unemployment rate does influence hiring trends. Our region also has to face some realities.
Okay.
We recently did a study of Saginaw County demographics.
Okay.
And this analysis clearly shows that our population is both aging and declining.
Wow.
So people are having fewer children, which means our future talent pipeline, or the pipeline that's coming out of our K-12 system, is smaller, coupled with the fact that we have an aging workforce.
Right.
So we need to do things differently and look at things differently to build the workforce we need both now and into the future. Now,
let me ask you a question, because I know that, and remember now, Saginaw at one point was a GM town.
Yes.
Okay. And with the exodus of GM, did that create the pathway for Michigan Works in our geographic area? How was that? I was still feeling the effects of the exit of GM here. What do you think as relates to that?
We have The economic downturn of 2008
Mm-hmm.
really helped employers in the region understand that they needed to diversify
Okay.
their businesses to withstand some of those challenges that the automotive industry has traditionally had in our state.
Excellent.
And we recently, well, within the past 12 months, have had an announcement where there's a brand new manufacturing facility being built in western Saginaw County.
Okay.
Their need for workforce is going to be significant. It's the largest project that I'm aware of that we've had in Saginaw County.
Okay.
So I would also encourage people to not just look in their backyard, but expand their scope a little bit and think about opportunities that may exist outside the city.
Excellent.
Because they can be really good jobs that are available. You may just need to think about expanding where those jobs are located.
Now, let me make sure you heard that somewhere over the next year or so, there's going to be a great job opportunity. Again, keep your eyes and ears open, but also sharpen yourself, because I think that's critical. Not sure what the demands will be or what's involved, but again, great advice. Look beyond where you are. There might be an opportunity just on the other side waiting for you.
Yes.
Okay.
And I would say that there are some employers that are doing some pretty innovative things. There's a Hemlock Semiconductor out in western Saginaw County.
Right.
Has actually made an arrangement with the public transit system.
Yes.
To take people out to their facilities.
That's a great relationship.
It is. And it's a way to make those jobs more accessible.
Yes.
So, and convenient, quite honestly. I had to drive to Lansing today for a meeting. I don't have the option of using public transportation for that purpose.
Right.
But we're fortunate that employers are implementing some innovative strategies to help facilitate those connections. We also need to talk about, and you touched on it a little bit, there may be some talent mismatches in the market. And I would encourage people who may have left a job or been displaced from a job to come in and talk to us about what jobs are available, what makes sense for them as an individual, and what your capacity is for sharpening your saw.
Excellent.
Because we have the capacity to support someone through that type of training experience if it makes sense for you. Right.
Well, can you talk more about that? Because again, one of the things that I've discovered, I know a lot of young people and quite frankly, some older people that have had a myriad of jobs since the pandemic. Get a job, get fired, get a job, quit, get a job, do this. That doesn't look well on your record, number one, if you care to report it. But it goes back to the idea of finding your niche, finding that which you fit. So can you talk about the individuals who do come to Michigan Works? Because these individuals I'm talking about may not be benefiting from your services, but can you talk about those that do come, young, old, educated, uneducated, gender, etc.? Because I need people to understand this might be what you've been looking for. You just never realized it. Talk a little bit about that.
Sure. We have a variety of resources that we have available that can help people make those kind of choices.
Excellent.
For some people, it's to connect to work quickly. And what does that what does that look like for you?
Okay.
For others, they really need to connect to a job that's going to support a family. But maybe their skills don't align with what's available right now.
Understood.
So training could help you do that. And there may be a short-term training program that could really influence the wage that you can earn.
Wow, excellent.
As a result of connecting to those training opportunities. Our staff can help you go through those resources, have those conversations, and really hone in on what it is that makes sense for you, your personal circumstances, your family needs. Don't be afraid to come in and have those conversations. Our staff a lot of us were displaced at some point in our career. So we're talking not only from a point of understanding from a personal level, but we also have experience from working and helping so many people in our community.
And I think, and we hear a lot of this, and we'll catch up if we don't finish on the other side of the break. But, we hear so often that, I'm working two jobs and I can barely survive. It could be that maybe you're mismatched, possibly. Could be that maybe you need some more training. And there is a place right here in the heart of the city, right on Genesee Street, where you probably need to go in and have the conversation, look at what you're doing now versus where you want to go, and then see if the training is there. And from what I hear you saying quite clearly, the training might be there long term and short term, but you've got to be willing to put the effort in, correct?
Correct.
If again, and I hope that our listeners are liking and sharing it to people that have said, I tried to find a job, but I'm tired of working two jobs. You may not have to work two jobs. You might be mismatched, and it may require you to do a little bit of sacrifice to get there. But if you're really determined to get a job where you can increase your quality of life, increase your wages for you and your family, and enjoy what you do, you really need to stop by Michigan Works so that you can get that type of door open that would help you. So that beckons another question. What prevents people from achieving success in their job search?
Sometimes it's because they can't envision themselves on the other side.
Mm.
And they might self-select them out of an opportunity because they just can't picture it.
Now, I need you to say that again, because I need people to hear that, and I need parents to hear it. Sometimes husbands and wives need to hear it as well. Say that again.
Sometimes it's because they can't picture themselves on the other side.
Okay.
And in some cases, if you have been out of school for even a year or two,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes the thought of going back to school in any capacity,
right,
is a scary prospect.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have to be. We have very good relationships with local education partners who are experts at what they do. We know how to support an individual through those type of feelings.
So there is hope, there is support. I get it that sometimes it can be daunting. Sometimes we say, well, I've been away from the workforce for X number of years. Some people coming out of COVID develop again that remote mindset. I don't want to go back to a work environment. You may not necessarily have a choice. You may not. But then again, having that conversation with your counselors and individuals to help you take a more realistic look at life is what's going to help you. The question really becomes, what are you looking for? And I think you started out by talking about that.
Mm-hmm.
That the real game plan is to help you do a reality check about where you are, what you expect, and what is it going to take to get there. And you can't get something for nothing. At some point, you're going to have to put in the work in order to get the job that you desire.
And I would say that's a great summation of that. You have to invest in yourself sometimes to get to that better outcome that you're capable of.
Right. Mm-hmm. Now, that doesn't mean that when you go through the training, you're going to get out and be making six figures.
No, there's you, and you touch on a good point too. You have to start somewhere.
Absolutely.
And quite often people don't have a realistic understanding of where the starting point is.
Thank you.
And how through performance on the job and demonstrating your capabilities on the job can lead to better pay, better opportunities.
And that means there's got to be an attitude adjustment. There's got to be a more realistic expectation. I mean, just because you want to go to the club on Friday doesn't mean you take Fridays off. Okay.
Correct.
And so we got to have some adjustments there. So we're going to come back. It's just about time for us to have a break. This is a must-hear conversation because we're trying to, again, help people that are looking for jobs, help people that want to advance. But in the end, this golden resource is right here in the city. Again, you need to hear the information. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a second, again, to continue this great conversation. Hey, we are back again after the break. I'm talking with Miss Kristen Wenzel, Chief Executive Officer of Michigan Works. I say Michigan Works of Saginaw. I think the name is a little bit different, but it's right here in our city. Our focus has been on employment. One of the areas that as ministers, pastors, we try to certainly do our very best to help people find jobs. I can't tell you how many times people that come to our church say, hey, Reverend, I'm looking for a job. You know any that's available? Hey, Reverend, I just lost a job. This job was phased out, etc. And Michigan Works is a golden goose in our community in that it prepares you, it trains you, it equips you with the skills that you need. Now, on the other side of this break, we were talking about what prevents people from achieving success in a job search. And we discovered that some of it is because sometimes we're mismatched, sometimes we're intimidated, going back into the workforce in terms of training. But training is critical to everything that we're talking about. So, Ms. Wenzel, talk a little bit about training, training opportunities, some of the things that training right now through Michigan Works can benefit the residents of Saginaw.
So training can be anything from a short-term certificate.
Okay.
That as a result of having opens doors for you for an employment opportunity.
Excellent.
Sometimes those are as little as 2 weeks.
Okay.
Depending on the industry and what type of credential is being obtained.
Gotcha.
But for specifically, I want to mention before it slips my mind, there is an opportunity through the state of Michigan right now called the My Reconnect Scholarship.
Okay.
It is specifically for individuals who have never achieved a credential past high school.
Wow.
No certificate, no college, community college, or any type of college degree.
Okay.
There's a scholarship that's expiring or running out at the end of the year, particularly for individuals aged 21 to 24.
Wow.
I urge you to apply, and all you need to do is look up MI Reconnect on Google, MI Reconnect, and it'll take you to the state's page where you can apply for this funding. Now, there is some other work that needs to be done as part of the application process. You'll have to get your financial aid paperwork in order. And you will have to apply for community college at some point. There's a deadline that's listed on that page, but I want to make sure that this is a gift.
Wow.
And it would be a shame if we don't maximize.
It's a game changer.
It's an opportunity. It could put you on a path to a career that you never imagined for yourself.
Wow. And I hope there again, parents, grandparents, those of you looking for a job, again, it's called My Reconnect. It will connect you. It could open up all types of doors. If you're looking, I'm talking about the trajectory of your life. It can change everything, your life, your lifestyle, everything. And there again, you just heard that here, and I hope that you'll take advantage of it. So training is really critical. And training is necessary because when you look at the workforce now, employers have a different expectation than they did 5, even 10 years ago. So let's talk about employers for a moment, if you could. How are you able to help businesses, both small and large, become successful in finding and retaining good employees?
We help employers in a variety of ways.
Okay.
We can act as an extension of their HR team.
Okay, excellent.
Supporting their recruitment needs up to selecting candidates for interviews, which means we can administer their job postings. We can help them draft job postings. We can post them not only on our statewide website, but we can also work with our local college job boards to help make sure that those jobs that are looking for that type of education level are aware that these opportunities are available.
Excellent.
We host job fairs all the time in our both offsite, maybe at a company's location. Sometimes they're in our service center. Frequently, they're in our service centers.
Okay.
And to that end, we encourage job seekers when they come in to have that level of awareness. Be prepared to meet with an employer on any given day when you come into our service center.
Wow.
Because you never know who's going to be in and who maybe sometimes they have scheduled interviews. And so there's not an opportunity for you to just pop in an interview, but sometimes there is.
So when a person comes in Saginaw, young people
people that's been out the workforce for a while. I talk about this often when I'm preaching and teaching sometimes. It's the whole idea of preparation. When you go apply, when you go to apply as if you might get the job right there on the spot. Mm-hmm. So when a person comes in, give us an idea of preparation when you come in the workforce or Michigan Works. When you come in, should a person be dressed a certain way? Should they have their resume if they got that available? What would you advise them to do coming into your building?
I would encourage them to be prepared if an employer is in there, to be comfortable in an interview setting.
Excellent.
Whatever that looks like for them.
Right.
I don't want people to feel like they have to be dressed up to come in to receive our services. That's not the case.
Correct.
But we are a professional office,
mm-hmm.
and we encourage people to learn from the experience that they get while they're in our service center,
mm-hmm.
how we interact with each other, how we interact with the people that are the guests in our building. And employers are looking for people who can get along with each other,
Excellent.
Be respectful of each other,
yes,
show up for work when they're scheduled, and be reliable.
Mm-hmm.
It's very difficult for an employer to meet in a manufacturing setting, for example, their production goals if they don't have the workforce to do the work.
Absolutely.
And that means lost money for our.
Of course it does.
Yes. So
that means that there needs to be a level of dependability on you when you go. You can't just go in because you don't feel like going to work, or you stayed out extra late last night and you're tired. Remember now, that's going to be the game changer in your career. Employers are looking for individuals that will give them 100% effort 100% of the time. And I think people need to understand that. You can't just go in and because you got an attitude, well, just send me home. No, you got to change how you look at this. Remember now, if you're looking for a better life, better job opportunities, you have to be willing to suffer it to be so, to press through some things. So I hear you saying that you got great coaches that can do that. And employers are looking for people that, despite your obstacles, you can still come in, get the job done, get it done with a professional attitude in a professional way that at the end of the day is going to help them be successful. Does that sound about right?
That's very, you've summed it up very well. And employers are wanting to connect with you.
Okay.
One of the other ways that we support employers is we connect them to opportunities to help upskill their workforce.
Okay.
So you could be a brand new employee at a company,
mm-hmm.
and as a result of an award that they receive, one of the one that comes is most prominent is the Going Pro Talent Fund.
Okay.
And it's a state program. It's not part of our federal workforce programs.
Mm-hmm.
It's a state program where the state is committing to investing in the workforce in Michigan.
Wow.
Employers have to apply for this funding. Our business service staff that are helping them connect to
mm-hmm.
talent
mm-hmm.
are also helping them prepare competitive applications. And then when they're awarded, supporting that application through until it's fully executed,
mm-hmm.
so that the company can maximize their training award.
Wow.
So it could be that you're learning that the company has a piece of equipment that requires specialized training, or it could be that they've identified a new process on which people need to be trained. It could be any number of things,
mm-hmm.
but it is all designed to help upskill the workforce,
Gotcha.
Which helps businesses be more competitive and expand and create more opportunities.
Now, we haven't talked about this, but let me just throw it out there. On any given day in your region, jobs available or job opportunities that you're aware of, can you give us a ballpark of what that could range from? How many would you say when you think about our county, our region? I'm thinking about the 5 total. What would you say jobs that are being posted, available, or wanted on any given day?
It's in the thousands.
Wow.
And I say that because I get a report every month
That's
on the number of job postings
mm-hmm.
our team has supported,
mm-hmm.
and the number of jobs that they've helped fill.
Now, I want to just kind of interject here for a second. So that kills this whole idea of I can't find a job. I mean, we're literally talking about thousands of jobs being available, posted on a daily basis. So Saginaw, there's no reason why you can't find a job. They are available. Go ahead, continue.
I want to make sure I answer your question about how we support employers. So I want to swing in a different direction for a minute.
Gotcha.
Because we're not only helping them fill their existing talent needs, their current talent needs, but we're also looking ahead to what their future talent needs would be. And we every year since 2019, with a couple of years interruption with COVID, excuse me, we host a career. I'm sorry,
that's okay. We're just having a moment here, so just bear with us just for a second.
The cold weather is
yes, ma'am,
drying me out. Let me put a cough drop in.
So as you're talking about that there again, and I think this is critical, what you just said, and that is that not only are you trying to help them with current needs, but also with future needs. And that's kind of opening a door for another question I have. And as you're able to respond, we know that the life of Saginaw evolves around the ability of young people coming out of school and being job ready, job trained for jobs. So how does Great Lakes Bay Michigan Works invest in our youth in addition to current jobs? If you can kind of elaborate on both of those.
Sure. Well, they both kind of tie together with what this example is, and I apologize for my interruption there. Every year we host a career exploration event for high school students. It's hosted at SVSU.
Wow.
And we partner with our Michigan Works neighbor to the north to bring this opportunity to our collective region. The intent of this event is to build the future workforce for our region. We want high school students to understand what opportunities exist here, what it takes to be prepared to be competitive for the opportunities that exist here, and wherever possible, help facilitate connections between employers and job seekers once those kids are graduating.
Excellent.
We want you to stay here when you graduate. We don't want you to leave and go to whatever's next for you. We want you to stay here and build your career here, have your family here. So this event, employers come together. We have identified 5 primary industries that are our most in-demand industries here in our 5 counties, and they prepare exhibits.
So can you give us an idea of what those 5 are?
They're advanced manufacturing, agribusiness, construction, healthcare, and IT.
Wow.
And these employers develop exhibits that demonstrate an aspect of the occupations that they're featuring in their exhibit. And these are their high demand occupations, the ones that they know both based on demand now and in the future that they're going to need to fill. Students have an opportunity to engage with the industry professionals that are in those positions who love their job and talk to them about what it's like to work not only for that company, but what that job looks like, what they love about it. We encourage students to ask questions.
Excellent. And
it is a career exploration event on steroids. It is not a job fair. So, the whole purpose of it is to broaden the students' understanding of what's in your backyard so that you make informed decisions as you progress through high school.
Excellent.
And some students share in our post-event survey that they've figured out what it is that they want to do.
Wow.
Others have expressed that they had no idea that these kind of opportunities exist.
And I think it's critical there again. And parents, let me just say this to you just well, because I think these are generally occur during school time, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So I also want to just invite parents in this situation. when your children or you get notice that these are happening, could a parent just show up anyway to be a part of this? I mean, I know they're going to go out in buses with their schools, et cetera, but could a parent show up to be a part of it or witness it possibly?
There is a way to facilitate that, but it isn't just a drop-in type situation.
I got you.
We have fire code limits on the number of people that can be in the building at a time, and we have a schedule that we have to put. We had over 5,000 students participate this year. That's phenomenal. In a single day event from our combined 11 counties. So wow. It's organized chaos. I'm not, and the noise level is unbelievable.
I can imagine.
But it is unlike anything else that's happening in the region, and it's really helping to facilitate connections. We have some students who some individuals that went through as students when they were 10th graders.
Wow.
Who are now connected to employers that are participating in MicroQuest and are working in their exhibits. Excellent. It's exactly the type of momentum we wanted to build.
And again, parents, I hope you're really getting this, writing this down, and I hope that you're going to ask your son or daughter or grandson or nephew or niece, hey, have you heard about this? Because maybe they heard it and just nonchalantly just blew it off. But it's a great opportunity to say, hey, have you heard about this? When this happens, you need to make sure you sign up. So sometimes parents, you got to encourage. Sometimes you got to keep tabs yourself so that your child does not forget. This is a great window of opportunity for our youth. It's a great way that Great Lakes Bay Michigan Works is investing in our youth. So let me ask you another question. What kinds of organizations does Great Lakes Bay Michigan Works partner with to deliver services most effectively?
I don't want to sound glib by saying this, but we partner with all types of organizations.
Excellent.
Because we're dealing with the general public.
Correct.
And we don't pretend to be the only resource that a person may need to be prepared for the job search or the job outcome that they're looking for. Sometimes they need the support of other organizations or the involvement of other organizations in order for them to be fully prepared. And so we partner very well.
So as you said earlier, you're kind of that conduit, you're kind of that bridge that makes it happen.
Yes.
Yes. So having said that, I think it's imperative that people understand that just walking in the door can change, again, your lifestyle, your quality of life, your job opportunities. It's a bridge. So when you walk in the door, one of the first things you may have to go through is just kind of an analysis of who you are. All right. Who are you? What are you looking for? What are your goals? What are your dreams in life? Okay. Now that you've said that, what are you willing to do to get there? Because if what I heard is true, with several thousand jobs available, there isn't a reason you should walk out of Michigan Works and not have a path to a better job. Correct way. All right. So having said that, what can we as parents, what can we as activists in the community, what can we as community do to help Great Lakes Bay Michigan Works as you continue to deliver services for those that are in need? I thought I saw something about, and I'm just throwing this out, there is a way that I think people can contribute to you guys. Is that correct?
No, we're not a nonprofit.
Okay, you're not a nonprofit. Okay.
No, we don't. It would be nice to have a nonprofit arm, but we don't have that capability right now.
Okay.
I encourage anyone who is, whether you're entering the job market for the first time, looking for a better job, looking to connect to training that may seem out of reach, information on who's hiring, whatever the case may be, to come to us.
Gotcha.
The community can support that initiative by helping to facilitate those connections.
Now, that's people that are retired?
Nope.
Okay.
Yeah, we serve everyone. So from the time someone is legal working age until they no longer want to participate in the workforce, we don't have any age restrictions.
That's the point I want to get at.
Other than the front end.
Okay.
They have to be, we can work with some high schoolers that aren't quite yet legal working age, but beyond that, we don't have an age restriction.
So a teenager during the summer can come in and participate in some training, possibly?
We have multiple youth programs that we're operating.
Hear this, Saginaw.
And they operate, some of them operate year round.
Okay.
All of them operate year round in some capacity, but you don't just walk into our office as a young adult and think you're going to connect to your first job or a job.
Gotcha.
There's job preparation work that has to happen first,
right,
before a person would be ready to be
understood
in a learning situation on the job at an employer.
You know, everything that we're talking about really is trying to prepare Saginaw, the residents of Saginaw, and future adults of Saginaw for how to be job ready. And I cannot underscore how critical this conversation is today. It literally can transform lives. It can transform our community. So, you know, for me, I hope that our listening audience will like and share, will get your nephews and nieces, have them go back through, look at this, you share with other people across the region, because we do have that type of audience. But what are some final things in the final minutes that we have? What are some final things that you would advise a person looking for a job to do?
Don't be afraid.
Okay.
You're not going to go through this alone. It can be intimidating to either enter the workforce or return to the workforce. There's so many unknowns, but we're good at what we do.
Excellent.
And we're really good at meeting you where you are and helping you get to where you want to be. We don't do it without you. I mean, there's things that you're going to have to do to participate and be ready, but don't be afraid. We're here to help. Well,
listen, we're out of time, but we've got to have part 2 of this. We got to have part 2 because we need people to know that there's more to this. We're out of time, but let me thank you again, Ms. Winslow, again, Chief Executive Officer of Great Lakes Bay Michigan Works. Let me thank Alpha Media, KISS 107. Let me thank again our super engineer, Mr. Matthew Lester, does a fantastic job helping us. New Life Baptist Ministry, Saginaw African American Pastor. Let me thank you for this opportunity. I'm always humbled by the privilege. And let me say to all of those that listen week in and week out, God bless you for supporting us. We're out of time. Let me give you a closing thought from Confucius. And this is what he says: choose a job you'll love and you'll never work a day in your life. Saginaw, the opportunity is right here in the city. You've got to reach out and grab it. There's got to be a level of commitment. Let's hope that you'll take advantage. Until we meet again, God bless you. That's our prayer.